Hey, good morning guys. Let's go for a walk. My channel is now about a year old. I started this, it was around Memorial Day. Well, Memorial Day is next week, and which I gotta work Memorial Day. Not happy about that, but I thought we'd go for a walk. It's actually a pretty nice day. It's gonna be hot today, and just thought we'd go for a walk. And things are happening so fast. Well, first off, let me remind you that when I started this channel, I told you I wasn't a good teacher. I'm not a prophet. I wasn't a good teacher. Hey, say hello. You. You're looking at me like, yeah, okay. And I also said that in 1 year, if I had even 50 subscribers, I'd be surprised. I'm sitting at about 129 now, have been for the last couple months, and I'm happy with that. I knew I wasn't going to come on here every day, which the time that we're living in, I truly think this is it. Now, I kept saying all last year, the wind is not here, so there shouldn't be any wind. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, hey. Yeah. Why did the chicken cross the road? I guess he got to the other side. Sorry. Man, you will run into every types of farm animals on this road. So anyways, like I said, when I started this channel, if I got 50 subscribers, I'd be highly surprised. There's a car coming. And I'm happy with my subs. You know what? I knew I was just the type of guy that wasn't going to pull 100,000 subscribers. That wasn't me. I wasn't planning on doing this every day. I knew I was going to do this maybe once every few days or once a week to get my mind off stuff, or get stuff off my mind. And I am not perfect. Sometimes I feel I'm not even worthy, because, you know, I sin. We all do. If you say that you are perfect, then you just sin by lying. Because we sin, and it's His grace. It's His grace that comforts us, and knowing that because we're saved, we are into His fold. We are His sheep, and He is the shepherd, and He's not going to let us go. He's not going to let us go. We might lose rewards, but we are His, and we are bound to Him. When we write our name, when He writes our name in His book of life, that's it. Done. End of story. And that's good to know, because these people that say that we can lose our salvation, well, let's just say I have always wanted to know what was down that dirt road. it says to keep out. So I don't know. But if we could lose our salvation, then let's just say you're driving down the road and you get involved in a serious automobile accident. And at that moment, right before death, and I'm sorry, I don't have any other explanation, but right there before death, you let out a curse word because you're shocked that somebody sideswiped. You get where I'm going with this? Right before death, if you have that one simple thought that'll keep you out of heaven, that's just insane to me. So he knows we're not perfect, and he said it on the cross. It is done. Capital D, D-O-N-E, done. And that's it. I used to question all the time, well, my goodness, I'm just not good enough. I'm just, the things I've done in my past, he's never going to let me in. Well, he is. I don't know if you see that. Wild animal number 3. All right. So I rest easy at night thinking that I could get on here and whine and complain and like in my last videos that how tired I am, how exhausted I am. But in this video, I'm not going to do that. I just, I have realized that's not encouraging. What is encouraging, that we are at the door. We're at the door. Things are unraveling at a record pace. Things are not going to go back on the shelf. J.D. Farag says that we have a shelf life, or prophecy has a shelf life rather. And I get up, I put on my coffee, I do my little yearly Bible. If you're still doing that, good for you. I know it's tough going through the Bible. We're about halfway there almost. And it's funny, when I got up this morning, I turned I have a Ninja because I can make it a cup at a time, and I turned my coffee pot on, and then I realized I didn't put the coffee cup underneath the drip, and it was all over the wall, all over the floor, all over the countertop. It was a mess. And that's not the first time I've done that, to turn the coffee pot on and not put the coffee mug or coffee pot under it. And I had a mess to clean up. And that's, Jesus' death on the cross is him cleaning up our mess, if that's a good way to put it. Because he knows that we couldn't do it alone. And he suffered a severe, miserable death on the cross for us. So, stay encouraged. I've said all the last year that could be the year, 2024 hit and we're still here. But seriously, guys, the COVID is on the rise in China. It's on the rise again. I think America is going to. I think America is going to be under the sovereignty of the WHO. I really do think so. Biden wants it. Biden wants it. whole Trump thing. They're not going to allow that man back in office. Come on. This whole thing in New York, it's all about keeping him out off the campaign trail. That's all it is. And the Iran thing, what does this mean? I couldn't tell you, but if you read Daniel, the Prince of Persia, things aren't going to turn around like that for Iran, no. You know, Satan has his top lieutenants, you know, in charge of these countries like that, like Iran. Hit a little bit of wind. I hope y'all don't hear that. Okay. Point is, stay encouraged. Stay strong. Just, again, try to warn as many people as possible. I am now doing this completely by myself. I've lost all of my contacts. They don't text me anymore. That's fine. My family. I am now the kook who talks about the rapture a lot too much, so they don't want to talk to me. They don't answer my texts. But I got you guys. I got Chooch, Bema Seed Academy, Jason, I hear you, bro. Guys, we're in this together. Even though sometimes I feel like all my friends have completely deserted me. Well, guess what? Jesus will never desert us. He will never desert us. Keep encouraged. You got to keep encouraged. We are at the finish line. I used to run cross country in high school. Yeah, I gave up a lot of Saturdays going and running 3-mile races. And boy, when you hit 2 miles and you got a mile to go, and your lungs are burning and your legs are tired, oh, to this day, I still don't know why I did that, but I did. But you know what? I always finished a race. I always finished a race. It was tough. You know, we'd go and run in some of these areas where they had a lot of hills. And cross country is a fall sport. So when you're running in September, and if you're from Texas, you know how September weather's like. It doesn't really start cooling down until about the middle of October. Point is, I always finish a race. I didn't finish in first place, but I always finished. But guys, we are about to finish the race. And just hang in there. Hang in there. It's almost over. I just keep thinking about, you know, this is brought to me in a conversation that somebody says, why would anybody just want to go to heaven? It'd be boring. And that is a life in the pit of hell. Satan wants you to think that heaven's going to be boring. You know, it's fellowship. It's eating without having to count calories. You know, I was actually talking to a friend of mine. I said, you know, I imagine having this grand boulevard with sweet shops and coffee shops, and you know, God knows what we like. He's not going to take that away from us, even when we get up there. Just think of, you know, I think of stuff like that, and it keeps me going. It keeps me going. to finish the race. People have come and gone out of my life. I'm 51 years old. And I think about all the people that have come and gone out of your life. And it's a lot. I can still remember their faces. I can even still remember some of their names. If you hear wind, sorry, I hit a wind tunnel. Trees on both sides. Anyways. And if they're a Christian, if they're saved, it'll be a joyous reunion. Grandparents and family members that have long passed, that you know that are saved. My grandparents, they're saved. Even my paternal grandparents, even though Browders come from a long line of agnostics, my paternal grandparents, they lived next to a Christian neighbor lady who kept at it for about 20 years, and they got saved in their 80s. They were in their 80s when they got saved, so it's never too late. So, of course, I grew up in church at my maternal grandparents' church, so I know they're up there. All sets of my grandparents have since passed away a couple of years ago, but just seeing their face and some of these past friends and loved ones that have gone on before you, we're all going to see them again. So, hang tight. We're almost home. Things were happening too fast. I was listening to a program, and the guest had said, I hope it didn't get too windy. I'll turn around here, see if yeah, I'll turn around. It's not so windy. But and the guest said that we still have about 100 to 200 years. And to the defense of the host, they disagreed with him. Point is, we don't have 100, 200 years. We don't have 10 years. We don't have 5 years. I don't think we have 2. War is at the door. Every country is fixing to fight with each other. You got the things in the Middle East. You have Russia flexing their muscle. You have this wild weather. You have the Iran thing. That's not going to go away. Just because the butcher of Tehran is dead, don't mean that they can feel somebody just as ruthless in its place. Maybe it'll be more ruthless. They've already got somebody in mind to take his place. You got NATO, you got Biden. You know, Monkey thinks, if you watch Monkey thinks that Biden's going to start sending troops to Ukraine. He wants nothing to do with Israel. However, he wants to send troops to Ukraine. I bet you that's coming. We got the threat of nuclear war. We got the most crazy weather. I mean, 100-mile-an-hour wind in Houston, flooding in South Texas, tornadoes out the wazoo. You got the countries in Africa that are facing flooding. Guys, we don't have much time left. We don't have much time. Stay encouraged. I'll come on in a day or two and finish up my Antichrist video, Antichrist in the Mark of the Beast. It's been on my mind. I'm going to talk about it in the next day or two. And I keep saying it, but I will try to get on here more often because we're running out of time. Like, share, subscribe. I didn't bring my note. Just share the gospel. Hand somebody a gospel tract. I still got a handful left in my car from my sister that gave me them. All right, guys. God bless. Like, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm happy with my Sunday school class. God bless.